Hey, boys and girls, it's Miss Teeny here. Today is Monday, March 23rd, and we are going to be practicing adding and subtracting fractions, well, mixed numbers. I know we started to do that last week, but we kind of pulled back. And now I think you guys really have the hang of renaming mixed numbers as improper fractions and naming improper fractions as mixed numbers. And we really need that as we move forward. Okay, so if you want to follow along in your book, I am going to be doing page 424, the bottom three problems. And then I'm going to be doing a bunch more just practice. So the first three problems on or the bottom three problems on 424 is what I'm going to do now. So make sure you're following along either in your book or with a notebook, and then follow along with some of the other problems. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. So the bottom part, it says they want you to write the sum of the mixed number with the fractional part less than 1. So meaning that there won't be an improper fraction or a fraction greater than 1. So if you look here, we have 1 whole and 1/6 plus 3 wholes and 3/6. Okay, so you can add up your fractional parts first or your wholes, but with mixed numbers, it doesn't really matter. I just always like to do over here first. So I have 1/6 plus 3/6 is 4/6. Good. So I have 4/6, and then 1 whole plus 3 wholes is 4 wholes. Good. So you have 4 wholes and 4/6. Now, if you wanted to change your 4/6 to simplest form, you definitely could. If not, that's okay. I will take either. But 4/6 as a simpler fraction, I could divide them both by 2, and I would get 2/3. So your final answer could be 4 wholes and 2/3 if you wanted to do simplest form, or if you're not you don't feel so comfortable with simplest form, I would accept 4 and 4/6 also. Okay. All right. So pretty easy when your fractional pieces are less than 1 whole. We're going to do a few more. This next one is going to be a little different, and I'll show you why. Everyone go with that one? Pause it if you need to, and make sure you're writing it with me. Okay. The next one is another addition one, but it's going to be, we gotta get Dennis to put this up. Almost hit me on the head again. Okay. 1 whole and 4/5 plus 7 wholes and 2/5. Okay. So again, we could add up our fractional pieces first. So I know 4/5 plus 2/5 is 6/5. Good. 6/5. Now, what do you notice about that fraction? My numerator is bigger than my denominator. So that means that this is an improper fraction or a fraction greater than 1. Just hold on with that for a second. Think about that for 1 second. Then we can add up our wholes. 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay. We can't leave it like this. We have to change our 6/5 into a mixed number. So remember what I said. You could divide 6 divided by 5, which is 1, with a remainder of 1. Good. So what it would look like as a mixed number would be, can you see it? Would be 1 whole and 1/5. Okay? Now, all I'm going to do is take that and bring it back over here. So 6/5 is really like saying 1 whole and 1/5. So then we would just have to add 8 plus 1 and 1/5. And we would get 8 plus 1 is 9 and 1/5. Excuse me. We're going to do a bunch like this because it's a little tricky. It's just a few more steps, but it's all stuff that you've already now learned. Okay, you learned last week how to change improper fractions to mixed numbers. So just keep that in mind. And then you would just add back your whole. All right, let's try another. Okay, let's try number 3 in your book. 2 wholes and 1/2 plus 3 wholes and 1/2. Okay, so we have 1/2 plus 1/2 is a whole, or 1 plus 1, or 2 halves, right? And we know 2 halves is the same as 1 whole. And then 2 plus 3 is 5. So now what we would just have to do is we add 5 plus our 1 whole to equal our final answer of 6. Okay? Okay. Now I'm going to do some that are not in your book, but I want you to make sure you are practicing along with me. So you could have your notebook nearby. You could write it down if there's a spot in the book that is has a few like a space you can. Okay. 3 4/5 plus 4 3/5. Okay, so we're going to add up our fractional parts. 4/5 plus 3/5 is 7/5. Notice my fraction greater than 1. So we're going to have to change this to a mixed number in a little while. And then 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, 7/5. We have to change that. Remember, I could think 7 divided by 5. Well, I know that 5 times 1 is 5, and then 6, 7. So with a remainder of 2. So as a mixed number, my whole would be my quotient. My remainder is my numerator, and I keep my denominator 5. So 7/5 is the same as 1 whole and 2/5. And then I would just add my 7 wholes plus my 1 whole and 2/5 to get me 8 2/5. Okay? You could visually see it as well. Like if I had 7/5, I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then I would have to do another one because I need to get 7/5. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/5, and then 6, 7/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/5, and it's cut up into fifths, or 1 whole and 2 more fifths. Okay, and then we can't forget the other 7 wholes. Okay, so 7 wholes plus the 1 and 2/5 equals 8 2/5. Let's try one more subtraction one for you. Let's try 7 2/3 minus 3 1/3. Okay, so we just subtract our fractional pieces. 2/3 minus 1/3 is 1/3, and 7 wholes minus 3 wholes is 4 wholes. I think today's lesson with subtraction is going to be easier. For the addition, just don't forget, if you see a fraction greater than 1, or also called an improper fraction, just change it over to the mixed number and then add that mixed number with that other whole. Okay? Yeah, I will see you guys later. Have a good day.